I want to talk about your overall view of the market and how it works because I thought this is really cool when we talked earlier. You mentioned these momentum bursts, which is how the market operates. So, could you explain that a little bit? And feel free to share your screen at any time if you want to bring up examples at all.
Yeah. So basically, what happens is, or like another basic philosophy behind my trading, everything which I do is based on this structural understanding of the market, right?
Right.
Um, how does structurally the market operates, or how it's like the physics of the market in terms of, like, if you're looking at physics, you're saying, look, if I have to build a bridge, I need to understand gravity, I need to understand materials, I need to understand a whole host of things, right? Same way, in order to make money in the market, you need to understand the market structure. And
Hmm.
there are certain market structures which I trade. One of them is called momentum burst. So momentum burst is like, I can give you an example of, like, say, recent momentum burst, which is happening currently. Let's look at like another. Here is Goldman Sachs, right? And it's a chart of Goldman Sachs basically. And if you see here, in 3 days, it has gone up like around probably $13, right?
Hmm.
Whenever stocks make a move, they move in momentum burst of 3 to 5 days. And this 3 to 5 days momentum burst move is very common. Like, there are 50,000 moves like this happen, right? You will see again here, there's a 5 day momentum burst and the stock made a 14% move. So I was in this trade from this day, and today I closed that trade. So this 3 to 5 days momentum burst is a really very common kind of a move in the market, and that's one of the market phenomena, and that's exactly what I'm trying to exploit. So if you take this particular stock, like, I would buy on this particular day and I'll keep holding it for 3 to 5 days, and in 3 to 5 days it makes 17% move. So this is the very high price stocks. High price stocks move in dollar increments, but if you're looking at a very low price stocks, if you're looking at something which is lower price, those stocks in 3 to 5 days make 8 to 40% moves. Okay. And now that kind of a move is very good for a trader, because if I can find 8 to 40% move and they happen every week, and even if the market is going down, you still have some stocks making moves like this, then it's just a question of entering them early on a first day, and then taking your profit by third or fourth or fifth day, or trading them, and then you can do hundreds, thousands of trades in a year, and you can make a lot of money. So that's one structure which I trade, which is very common structure in the market. The second structure which I trade is what I talked about, episodic pivot, which is basically whenever there's a big news catalyst, and it doesn't have to be earnings, any
Right.
news catalyst which comes in, um, that news catalyst will lead to the stock going up big, right? And if you see last year, SPCE, this stock had a catalyst, which is the government policy changed. Like, government decided, or the Trump announced that they're going to set up a cyber force or something like that, right? And space force they're going to set
Hmm.
up. And that particular day, this stock came into the kind of scan which I use, which was 9.7 million. It was a government policy episodic pivot. That particular arc of the story changed, and then the stock went up 377%, right? And this can be completely a story, or it can be an actual earnings. Like, if you look at JRWZ,
Hmm.
now this JRWZ on this particular day, okay, this is where I entered, and I entered on the opening price, means like I had OPG order or a market on open order for this particular day. On this particular day, this particular stock had earnings, and the earnings was very good. And from that particular day, now the stock has gone up like 400, 500%. It went up 500%, and then subsequently it like went down. But just in 4 days, even from there, in 4 or 5 days, the stock went up 150%. So this particular market phenomena, which is like basically episodic pivot, uh, is very common, and you can find many many ideas like this, and that's exactly what my friend you referred to, Krishnan Kulamaigi, he also trades the same method. Many of the ex-members of my site, like, they all trade this idea called episodic pivot, or EP. They call it EP. We call it EP, and which is based on this market phenomena. Similarly, momentum is very well-known market structure, where a stock with an established momentum is going to continue to move in the direction of momentum. So that's another thing which I trade. What you have seen is in the recent years, especially if you look at the last 10 years, uh, many stocks are making moves not based on earnings or sales. Most of the big winners for a year are basically story stocks.
Right.
These are stocks which are just stories. So stories is another market structure because market likes stories, right? And it means most of the stocks which are up a lot, if you look at it, then they are not like they don't have earnings or sales. They just have a story, right? And 2,300%. So this is again a structural phenomenon in the market, or it's a market structure. So how can one identify these story stocks? So that's another thing. Or exhaustion, which is a setup which I trade. There's a trade which I bought yesterday based on exhaustion. So exhaustion is basically whenever a stock is going down or selling exhaust, and then buyers step in. So this is a stock which I bought yesterday afternoon, and now it's up like an 11%. So that's the signal. So these are all based on market structure because exhaustion has been around for hundreds of years. Or momentum burst has been around for hundreds of years. Story stocks have been around for hundreds of years, right? The nature of the story it changed, but there has always been story stocks. So my trading or my setups are all based on market structure like this. And these market structures, I've studied them. They've been around for 100 years. They're not going to change. Even though technology has changed, those structures are enduring structure. So if I base my trading based on enduring structure, those things work. As a result, I make money.